to be on screen. Welcome to the Badger Beer Brewery Report for July 28th, 2026. I am here with Central Time IPA from Third Space. It's hoppy and delightful, is what it tells me. All right. We always say come here and crack open a beer to enjoy the brewery report. So I'm cracking mine open. It's as wonderful and delightful as it says on the can. This evening, we have build updates from La Crosse, Milwaukee, Spooner, Cudahy. I always say that wrong. And of course, we couldn't go one brewery report without Joel wanting to talk about New Glarus. So we'll do that. I see him in the background, like what? So without further ado, let's get to all the updates. A lot of things going on here with the report we'll get to too. And without further ado, let's bring on Badger Beer Report's Director of Brewery Outreach. Wait, did I say that right? Director of Brewery Relations and Research. That would be the one and only Joe Geyer.
How are you doing today, Greg?
Still butchering your title.
I do want to start, before we dive in, I did want to start off tonight by saying that we are thinking of all of those that were affected by the storms yesterday up in the Appleton, Menasha, Fox Valley area. I know several breweries that were closed yesterday, parts of today. Obviously, many people lost homes, had extensive damage. So we are thinking of those communities. I know the first brewery that we'll be talking about here, Dairy Air, I know they had a post about leaving donations. So go to their page to learn more about that. I'm sure there are other places that you can go to donate different goods as well. So yes, keeping all of the communities up there in our thoughts right now.
Yep, and y'all can catch those either on Derriere's Facebook or our Facebook because we share both posts. Tad had an update for us this afternoon about where they're at and what's going on with the organization, and also we want to know where they're at as far as opening.
Yeah, so Derriere, they just opened up less than 2 weeks ago now. There in Seymour. This is one that has been in the works for quite some time. We've been following this one closely. We are really excited to see Tad get over the finish line. Obviously, this was a project that he took a lot on himself. So quotes from him from the actual day of the event. It was a great turnout. There weren't many hiccups for the grand opening. They got a lot of good feedback, he said. The beers were good. He said the pizzas were apparently excellent. Apparently, the pizzas were getting rave reviews from people. I forget how many different pizzas he has. It's a good number. And then I know when we talked with him during our live stream for the announcement of the grand opening, he said he was going to kind of be rotating through a lot of beers. So be sure to check their website for the most recent updates on that. I know when they kicked off, they had a Mosaic Blonde, Juicy IPA, a Moo Tang Sour. So he's got quite a few different things going on there. There were a total of 7 beers. They also had some other alcoholic offerings, 2 non-alcoholic options on tap. So he's making quite a few different things here. Oh, and I did see 5 different pizzas. That's what they started off with. So as of now, let me find here the hours. They will just be closed on Mondays. That is currently the one day they will be closed. And then they'll have kind of more extended hours on Saturdays and Sundays, of course, on the weekend. But yeah, I know one of us hopefully will get up there at some point before the end of the year to check in on Tad and what they are all doing. I know that the decor is still a work in progress. I know he's got that wall where he's hoping people bring in their memorabilia and stuff from the military. So it'll be interesting to see that kind of come to fruition. But yeah, just a big congratulations to Tad and everyone associated with Derriere, and wishing them the best as they continue and the next addition to the class of 2026.
Yes. And so we will leave the Green Bay area fly all the way across the other part of the state, Joel, for an update on an expansion that we're looking forward to, probably coming in early next year, though.
Yeah. That's my understanding. So yeah, we're over in the La Crosse area. This was one that we covered when they first announced it. They kind of came out of the blue. If people remember, they all of a sudden just came on and posted these pictures of a building, like an actual structure that was clearly not finished, but an actual building, and saying, "Oh yeah, hey, by the way, we're building a new facility." And this is in Onalaska. So for those not familiar, it's very close to La Crosse there. It's right there, part of the same area. And they recently posted a video on their social media that kind of gave a little tour update. You can see that the building no longer has that green cover that you see when there is, new construction. That is all looking to be finished. The tanks are in there. They were working on some stuff on the interior. Obviously, the asphalt is laid down. They made a big point about that. And so they're plugging along. We may see. I mean, with the pace that they're going, this could end up coming in before the end of the year. But this is obviously a large step for them. It is going to be a much larger facility, but they are still going to be keeping the location in downtown La Crosse. Wanted to clarify that again. I know they had to make that clarification after their initial announcement. But yeah, I mean, this is a really cool expansion to see. I know that they are now the second La Crosse brewery to kind of look to add to that area. If you recall, 608 Brewing out of La Crosse opened up their second location in Holman, which is also kind of that same neck of the woods. So both of those breweries are really trying to grow their base there over in the Driftless area.
Absolutely. And we'll have more to that. Probably in a later year we'll get more, but they've been good, Joel. As you know, they've been good about pushing out updates. So you'll probably see there'll be some updates, y'all. It's not going to be just just a desert of information like we do with some of these bills, which we won't name, but we're going to name the next one, Joel, because we've gotten very good information out of this one, right under your nose for the most part, right?
Yeah, I mean, this one is very close here, right here in Milwaukee. This will be Milwaukee's newest brewery when it opens up here later this year. I talked with Nick yesterday. He said that construction is moving along fast. The bar build out is hopefully going to happen towards the end of this week. The tanks are already in the building and will be placed hopefully early next week. So things are moving along. He said as of now, his same time frame, looking at maybe fall time, sometime here in the fall, is still hopefully the goal. Nothing has changed on that end. And then Nick has also been pretty darn good about posting updates for people. They recently completed a lot of their outdoor landscaping, which is obviously an important part of, Treeline's kind of identity with the outdoorsy feature of it. So they were putting in all new, plants and everything that's going to go along their outdoor patio area, which is going to be really nice. So yeah, I'm really excited. I think this is one that I hopefully will get down to pretty soon to see in person again. I plan to do another little video walkthrough tour with Nick as we kind of start to get things placed, so that way people can kind of see the stages as this brewery prepares to open, because we did one early on when they had kind of stripped out everything and were just laying the foundation and had an idea where things were going to go. But now you can kind of see that starting to come to fruition, which is really exciting.
Yes, and this one we're hoping comes in at 27. I'm a little skeptical. Joe's always optimistic, so we'll go with that. But this is going to be a fun one because we know the brewer, and Milwaukee gains. The richer get richer.
Well, and it's in a neighborhood that doesn't currently have one in Milwaukee. It's not terribly far from the little row of tap rooms in Tosa, but the Enders Park neighborhood does not currently, like that. That part of Milwaukee does not really have its own brewery to speak of whatsoever. So I know that was a big key for Nick. He grew up in that area and he wanted to bring a brewery to that neighborhood specifically.
There's like 4 neighborhoods in Milwaukee that don't have a brewery, y'all, or something. Anyway. Richard, I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, we got a lot. Yeah, and we're gonna take each one of them.
I still have to visit a bunch. That's why I look at it like, wow, man, there's still a lot there. But so that's interesting. A place, Joel, where there aren't that many breweries that I recently visited, and I rode past this place, and I don't know. So the new or the old Round Man is now Rail. You're gonna explain this.
Well, I think you have just as good of idea as me because you actually got to talk to them.
I do.
But essentially, Round Man up in Spooner, we covered that they were consolidating and going to the what is it, their barbecue location, and I'm
Yep.
blanking on the name of that town now.
Spoon or wait, hold on, I'll get that.
Yeah.
It's not
Anyway,
Spooner though. I was like, I thought it was Spooner. It's not
yeah,
Spooner.
no, because they Railhouse, that was their old location, and then it was sold, and it is now Railhouse Junction, which is promoting itself as a restaurant, distillery, brewery, and event space. It's all rolled into one. So this is a new brewery. This is considered part of the class of 2026 in many ways. I feel like, and
Trago is
yeah,
where strong. I'm sorry, Trago's where Strongman's smokehouse is. My
Strongman.
bad.
So for people for people that want to follow along up there, that you can go up there. But for now, Railhouse posted just a couple weeks back here that they had new tanks coming in, and these puppies look really nice. They got them wrapped with the logo and everything. It's a very clean look, Greg. I got to admit. I did reach out to them to try to get comment on size, plans, what it all is, and we have not heard back yet. Hopefully, we will learn more for them as they approach. I know right now they are still selling Round Man beer. Based on the post, it seems like it's kind of as supplies last, I'm guessing, until they kind of get their own stuff going. But yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one and an interesting development, a brewery that changed hands and is now kind of going through this whole rebrand. I personally haven't looked much into the whole distilling aspect of this, the potential for that. But would be interesting. We have a couple of those here in Wisconsin already. But yeah, we'll keep our eyes out, try to reach out again and see what else we can find out about what's going on up there in Spooner.
A real quick aside, Joel, you gotta love the resiliency of the Northwoods breweries.
Yeah.
We've had almost now, we might be pushing what, 5 or 10? We're almost in the 5 or 10 range of conversions and not what I mean, like
and
we've had Northwoods, Northwoods brewery closed, but now they're back. Trap Rock is trying to come back. We got a Gonic back from literally the ashes.
Some nerve transferred ownership.
Some nerve. I mean, this goes on and on and on about the resilience and how we, I me, Joe. Y'all probably know me. I have a skeptical, but I sometimes feel realistic things. So, like when I see a brewery's closing, I'm like, or selling, I'm like, oh my goodness, they're gonna close because they're not gonna be able to sell. And up in the Northwood, y'all been resilient. People have just moved in. It's just really good to see in a place where it's so sparse as far as our breweries go, Joel. You know what I mean? Sometimes we lose a Milwaukee brewery, respect to 1840, but sometimes we'll lose a brewery in a bigger city and we'll be like, okay, well, we can at least sustain because we have, 6 other breweries to go to. It's just really not the case up there. As you know, in these small cities, buddy. So like, it's just really good to see this, evolution, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, and on top of all these, what you just talked about in terms of the transfers of ownership and coming back in the case of like an Agonic, you also have the situation where we've seen multiple openings up there too, and fewer closings. Like we have Boulder Junction coming in, we have Lost Apostle coming in, and so you really have seen Northwoods craft beer taking a stronger hold in that area up there. I mean, what was it? We did the report. Bayfield counties got more craft breweries than quite a few other counties that you wouldn't expect. So it's really cool to see that growth. And yeah, we will be all that coming back. We will be checking in Railhouse Junction. Hopefully we will learn more about them here in the near future.
Yeah. And back to another one that's closer to home for you and closer to your heart too.
Yeah. So down in Cudahy, we are anxiously awaiting Radix fermentation. I reached out to Adam for comment earlier this week. Also, he said work is moving slow and steady. They're doing all the finish as we're doing all the finishings ourselves. He said the coolers build and the bar is almost done. I'm assuming he meant built. And then a fresh coat of paint. We should be good to go. I did kind of press there is no firm timeline yet for an opening. I am guessing I will get down there also here late summer, early fall, to meet up with Adam, maybe do another little video walkthrough similar to what I'm hoping to do with Treeline. But yeah, for those that have followed us, I have been a big fan of Radix beer since I first got to try them, and I'm excited to see what Adam and his wife are able to do with that space and once they have their own facility. And it's another one of the communities, one of the suburbs here in the Milwaukee area that does not have its own brewery. And specifically on the southern side, you have St. Francis that's going to be right down the road, Falklandia, but there hasn't been a whole lot of breweries on the south side suburbs of Milwaukee. And so Radix is coming in to, and they're really going to give something new to that community because they are going to have some really interesting beers for folks to try. You're muted, Greg.
Yes, and we're definitely hoping that this one comes in soon. And also, a note on Radix, in case y'all know, they've been very integral in the reboot of Mobcraft.
Yes.
So they're embedded in the community. They're already, involved with, and that was another thing that I know Joel's excited about, is that they're really already part of the community before they even bust open. So that's just really going to be something to look forward to. And then, of course, one of Joel's biggest builds, not the biggest build, because we got another one we'll talk about, I think, a little bit later, but one of the biggest builds in Wisconsin brewery history. And Joel is, man, you're excited. I mean, you're excited for a lot of these ones, but this one
is, this is the big kahuna for Wisconsin craft beer. Obviously, we haven't given an update in a few shows. And Nuclearis, well, because we haven't, this is one of the ones that we haven't been, it's because it's such a big build out that we haven't been, constantly talking about it. But Nuclearis has posted some new pictures showing the progress being made. You can really see some of the structure taking shape. And I mean, this is just going to be a behemoth, Greg. It's, still on track for summer of next year, part of 2027. I'm hoping that you and I can be there, when they do eventually let folks in the doors, because it's going to be just incredible. I can already tell. And yeah, I mean, we're just excited. And at this point, depending on when we might be less than a year out. We'll see. But I know that they're hard at work, and it's cool to finally see it, take shape, because obviously when this was first announced, you have the renderings and whatnot, and then the early photos where, you see construction happening, but you don't really see okay, what it's actually going to look like. And now you start to see those pieces coming together, and it's starting to take shape a little bit more.
Yeah. And a little side note real quick too, because I think we're above schedule. Just, obviously it's Wisconsin, it's New Glarus. These are things that you really like and enjoy as far as beer, but can you put a perspective on it as far as what do you feel this campus is going to be like, given your prowess of traveling around this country and going to many campuses?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be up there with the best of them. I think right now, a lot of people would put the Sierra Nevada location in Mills River, North Carolina, just outside of Asheville, as kind of the 1A example of what a big brewery campus and experience should be like. And there are plenty of other really big breweries that have amazing, facilities and tap rooms, but I think blending the outdoors with the indoors is part of what makes the Sierra Nevada and North Carolina so special. And I know that, that is something that New Glarus has always excelled at. In fact, sometimes they've leaned too much into the outdoor part of the experience for your drinking. And I think now they are bolstering their entire experience, like year-round tourism, in terms of having that huge taproom space, the museum, adding more facilities for the brewing. It's just going to really take it that next step. It was already a top-notch brewery to visit, but I think New Glarus is going to be right in that same conversation where, and it is, and in some ways it's going to be more of a destination, because Sierra Nevada, you get everywhere. New Glarus is still Wisconsin only, and people already come to Wisconsin because of just the beer. And now if you have this location taking that next step into a true you can spend a full day there. That's just going to take it to the next level. So I'm just really excited to see how this turns out, both inside and out. And yeah, I mean, we obviously know what New Glarus means and what the perception of New Glarus is on the regional scale and in many ways the national scale. And I think that this expansion is just going to continue to solidify that among many beer drinkers.
Well put. And so the next item here, which is going to start to solidify you, in my opinion, as someone who knows, well, we'll see, knows a little bit around. Joel knows a little bit around a brewery tap room, y'all. Joel's actually learning a little bit around the recipe part of the beer making. Joel, would you like to talk about this picture? What's
Yeah.
going on with it? And yeah, let us know.
Oh, I should have included the photo because of the one I sent you of the beer. But anyway, a couple weeks back, I was over at Deadbird Brewing here in Milwaukee with Nick, and we were brewing up our collaboration beer for Great Taste of the Midwest, where we are going head to head with Nerdy Beer Guys and Topsy Turvy. We will be right next to Deadbird and Topsy will be right next to each other. You will be able to go and try both beers and then vote on the better summer crusher. I don't know, how are we phrasing it again, Greg? I think you might be muted.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, the best summer crusher, something along those lines. And so we announced when we did the live stream with Nerdy Beer Guys about what the beer ended up being. We are brewing a sessionable table beer that is going to be very light, less than 4% ABV. It's going to come in around 3.9%. And it will also be, we are using some botanicals from Rishi, specifically some tea blossoms, some orange tea blossoms that are going to really hopefully help with the aromatics. Those were getting added very late to the brew. So I actually got to go in here recently. I was down there for the kids book swap with my kids. Nick brought me over a small sample of the beer, and it was pre-yeast crash. So it didn't have quite the same look or anything. The botanicals had also not been added yet. So it was, very basic. I can tell you right now, if there is a lighter tasting beer, if it is a warm day in Madison for Great Taste, Greg, I am thinking you're going to have a harder time getting a more refreshingly light-bodied beer than what we have. It drank almost lighter than 3.9. It was just, yeah. And so I'm really excited to see once that yeast fully crashes down, once those botanical aromas kind of come in. I'm really anxious to see how that all turns out. And I think the name's official. I guess I texted Nick, but I'll just wait to release the name until we have the can art and everything anyway. But yeah, because they're currently working on the can art. This beer will be available in some cans, which is really exciting. You will be able to go in. We are also planning on doing a small release party at some point after the Great Taste. It may be later in August, early September, depending on how dates fall. For them, they've got a lot going on in August.
So they may hold the beer back. We might get it at the Great Taste and then have to wait till later.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked about the details, if it's going to be on and how that's all going to work. But it is their anniversary. They're going to be on the anniversary slide. So that is part of what they all have going on in August. But yeah, this is one of the 4 beers that you will be able to find of ours, the Badger Beer Report's collaborations at the Great Taste of the Midwest. So we will, yeah.
Well, I was going to say we would be remiss if we did not mention the opponent with their opponent's beer.
We
can't speak fully for that, but please, Joel, go right ahead.
Yeah, I guess we can. We do know that Topsy Turvy made a bomb pop sour or bomb pop a Berliner Weiss. Was it specifically a Berliner Weiss? I believe. Yep. Bomb popped. Inspired, I guess. And I do know, unlike the table beer, which you will be able to get later on plenty at the tap room in Milwaukee at Deadbird, as well as in cans.
Listen.
I believe my understanding is that this bomb pop, they made enough basically for the festival. And so if you want to try that beer, you will have to be at the festival and come to the Deadbird Topsy tent combo to be able to try it. I do not believe it will be available after that. If for some reason we find out otherwise, we will obviously let you guys know. But at least for now, that is our understanding of the matter. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And we're going to make sure that that's a one-hit wonder.
Yep. Hey, after trying, I'm very optimistic. If it's a hot day, ours is going to be so light. Yeah.
Yes, I cannot wait. This is going to be fun, y'all. In order to be a part of all this fun, you have to be at the Great Taste in the Midwest next week. Really to get the full effect, because you may not have, as Joel said, you may not be able to get the bomb pop after it. And if you do, you're going to have to drive from Lake Geneva to Milwaukee to have them both in the same day. Crazy people like Joel and I will do this in 2 seconds to go to breweries. We know that y'all don't have the time that we do. Hell, sometimes we don't even have the time to do it, Joel. We still be doing it. But that aside, this is going to be fun. This is another, Joel has one of the things that I've seen you grow, sir, as in this project, and you've seen me grow. But I've seen you grow in a recipe making way, and I didn't just know you had that in you. I know that you love beers, love breweries, but like once him and I started doing these collaborations, and for the first couple ones, we didn't really have much recipe say. But now as we add these, y'all, and we start to talk to breweries more, they have more faith. We have faith in them. They have faith in us. We're really starting to get in, and this was one of the first ones that Joel really. Joel and Nick really made this. I was part of the process, but Joel and Nick were the masterminds behind this recipe. And Joel was also the mastermind behind another recipe here, Joel. And then we got something really big coming this week. Joel, I'll let you set all this up because why not?
Yeah, we got collab beers all over the place. I mentioned that we are going to have 4 collaboration beers at the Great Taste of the Midwest. 2 of them are going to be from our friends Inventors Brew Pub up in Port Washington. And why are there 2 beers? It's because we are celebrating 6 years of the Badger Beer Hour and the Badger Beer Report. And this is taking place on Friday, this upcoming Friday. Starting at it kind of is going to start to kick off at 3:30. The real kickoff is at 5. And we have 2 beers that we are going to be releasing. We have the Turbo Tap, the Pilsner, or the Turbo Tap Tribute, which is a Pilsner, as well as the Malted Milk Stout. As Greg alluded to, the malted milk was kind of my plan, what I wanted to kind of go with to, a tip of the cap. To the fact that William Horlick got the patent for malted milk here in Wisconsin. And, obviously Inventors, that's a big part of it. That's what both these beers are themed around.
Joel.
And I got to warn you guys, if you come up here, this malted pastry stout's clocking in at 11%.
And Joel, what's the origin? Why did you want this type of beer?
I love malt. I love malts, love malted milk. I always have since I was a kid. And when we were thinking up these ideas, Greg can talk more about Laminar Flow and his Turbo Tap beer. I wanted to have something that was food related. I felt like that was based around Wisconsin. Putting cheese in a beer didn't make a whole lot of sense. So we went down some other rabbit holes, figured out that the Horlicks, really got the patent and got, essentially malted milk grown here in Wisconsin, down in the Racine area. And malted milk obviously is going to go great with a nice chocolate pastry stout. And this is going to be a huge beer. You're probably not going to be able to sit down and drink like 3-4 pints of it. But you will definitely enjoy it. A beer that you might be able to have a couple pints of and enjoy it, Greg, is your Laminar Flow. And you have a special guest coming.
Yeah. So this idea, the idea came from me, but the idea for the beer is fully Trevor's. But yeah, I don't know, Joel. We've been digging around Wisconsin history for a while since we started these collaborations. Whether it's trying to think of just a collaboration idea, whether it's actually trying to think about a specific brewer, have that in mind. We talked about one today. We hope to bring y'all. Joel's excited about it. I am too. Way too early to talk about it. But when you have these formulations, these collaborations, y'all come together sometimes very differently. So this one was me approaching Trevor about, yo man, I found this invention, the Turbo Tap. The guy invented it at UW. His name is Matt Yanko. He invented the Turbo Tap, y'all, at because he was in line at the UW Terrace and the beer line was too long. So him and his buddies got together and made a brew tap or a turbo tap that I think it's what 2 times, Joel. It comes through there 2 times as as a regular tap. So they made that and ended up selling it, and so Matt's going to be there with us to talk about it, to celebrate it. So that's going to be fun. And so then on this one, as far as recipe goes, I didn't really have much say in it. I talked to Trevor, and Trevor was like, "Boom, Wisconsin Pilsner." Like he almost came up with that like the second he heard it, because Joel, we have a messenger group, and I was like, Trevor, this is the idea I got for you. And he's like, that's a great idea. And he's like it was like a second later, he's like, Wisconsin Pilsner.
It makes the most sense.
Yeah, and he just made the whole recipe. He just went to work on this one. Whereas the one with Joel and him, there was definitely a back and forth between him and Joel about different things, how we wanted it to be tasted. Trevor just knew what he wanted to do. The Deadbird, going back to Deadbird real quick, that was a negotiation, y'all. Once we got Nick on the phone and Nick was like, yeah, I want to do it, then it really just opened up this whole conversation about where we wanted to be. And then Joel and I took that conversation and went like 2 or 3 weeks of us kind of going back and forth, and then him and then Joel really and Nick kind of really getting into it. And then Nick sent us this sheet of like botanicals of like 5 pages. It was wild. Like the Deadbird thing was wild. Whereas the Inventors thing was mostly Trevor, especially for the Turbo Tap one, and then Trevor and Joel going back and forth about what they wanted as far as that goes. So that's a really fun look inside of how all that goes. We have a couple other collaborations that we'll talk about soon that Joel is really in.
Confirmed today, for sure. So that's some exciting stuff.
Each one of these is different. I mean, y'all know everybody knows about or if you follow us, y'all know about the Class of 25 collaboration. And that was mostly Chris coming up with that recipe and everybody saying, yeah, that looks good. Let's do that. And so it was great. And, y'all, Vault is already a award-winning brewery. So we know how their recipes go and how they roll. But that aside, so this is going to be fun. We got these 2 beers coming up this weekend at Inventors Brew Pub. We will be there on Friday. Joel and I will probably get there around in the 4 o'clock hour, probably closer to 5. We're going to have Joel and I will talk about the Badger Beer Report and the Badger Beer Hour. Obviously, that'll be mostly me talking, but Joel has, Joel was part of the transition from Badger Beer Hour. He was there, and he's just been a huge part of what Badger Beer Report has become and what is. So it'll be nice having y'all. I don't know if we'll have other team members there, but stay tuned. You never know with us. We do have 11 pushing someone else soon. We will hopefully have an announcement on that. But yeah, so we'll be out at Inventors Brew Pub this weekend. I believe both beers will be on at Inventors right after this, right, Joel? Especially the Malted Milk Ball. I'm pretty sure that one is not. That may make the great taste, but y'all gonna have to get the Port Washington really for that one. Now
that's a much smaller batch.
Yeah, now the Turbo Tap, y'all, will absolutely be at the Great Taste, and it will also be at our Great Taste Eve parties. Now I don't know, are we set up for that, Joel?
I don't think so.
And
before you go any further, I do also you were talking about the beers and the recipes. It said on there too. If you want to learn more about the beers, you will get to hear from Trevor as well. Trevor will also be talking about some of the beer stuff, so you can learn more, ask questions, and learn more about the beers themselves as well from the guy that brewed them.
Absolutely. And we also have a piece on what we're calling in-house Joel's malted milk bar beer, but it's all of our beer. It's the Badger Beer Report beer. But if you wanted to find out a little bit more about that beer, the history on it, our latest piece we dropped on the website is on there, and it talks about the beer too. And Friday, so more information on our website for that. But inventors also made this wonderful graphic here about saying everything. So yeah, Matt was supposed to come in on a boat, y'all, but Matt is going to be doing, of course it's July, so he's, Joe, I don't tell Joe about this. He's going to be running around with his family because this is vacation time, and it's just a beautiful time to be running around Wisconsin, to be doing anything. It's just, well, it's kind of been hot, and obviously we've had some rough weather. But outside of that, this is the time for us to get around. So Matt will be there. And basically the festivities, y'all, will go from 5 to 7. Probably we'll be clearing out after that and moving on to the weekend. But we're just a shout out to Trevor and Inventors Brew Pub for celebrating our birthday with us and for us. And it's just great, Joel, that we can get it's great feedback, and it's just always fun to work with fun people like Trevor. So hopefully we'll be doing this again. But we are also very interested in seeing how those beers come out. But you'll be able to taste all these beers at the Great Taste Eve events that we have. We have one at Giant Jones. We have one at Delta. The beer that will be there will be the Sunshine Brewing collaboration beer from the Summer Mashup, which is a American stout that Joel has been able to have because Joel was at the taste, or Joel was he was stewarding the final table, and I have not yet to have this beer. So Joel will talk about the beer, but this is the winner of the Summer Mashup, which Badger Beer Report founded and helped run. And our first winner was from Dan, and it's a American stout, one of those summer styles that we were looking for, Joel.
Yeah.
You want to speak on the beer?
Yeah, well, I mean, because we initially we were kind of waffling back and forth on how much we were going to lean into wanting to have a summer beer for Great Taste from this event, and it came down to the day we were talking more and more with everybody, and it kind of came out. We kind of came to a consensus that no, it needs to be the best beer here, whatever that may be, as long as it can be made in time for Great Taste. And yeah, Dan Stout was that beer. It was just phenomenal. I forget it. It comes in at 6.9, something like that. But what makes this beer insane is that it somehow it is drinks lighter. It feels like it's much lighter than that, but it doesn't lose any flavor or body. I don't know. There's some way that it came together. All the roasty notes, all the toasted, like it just very full flavors, but it is almost like a summer stout in some ways because it doesn't feel heavy on your palate. Like it's not going to weigh you down. It's not like it doesn't have like cloying flavors and body. Like it's just really well made. So I'm really excited to try this because obviously I only had like a couple little small tastes of it. So I'll be excited to try this one at Great Taste as well.
And the details on that are scarce at this point. It'll be available at Delta and Giant Jones for a bit after the Great Taste because it'll be there for the Great Taste Eve. And I'm not sure when it's going to get out to Sunshine, and I'm not sure about distribution. So you want to get to those two places if you're not going to the Great Taste. If you would like to try a wonderful summer stout. And I think it's amazing because, we think we're a Badger Beer Report. We think stouts can be drunk all year long. Of course, we're going to drink them when y'all drink them too in December, but we're going to drink them in summer, and we're actually going to drink them at the Great Taste. So that'll be great. And then lastly, we will have the two beers that we mentioned before. Joel's Malted Milk Ball beer and Greg's Turbo Tap beer will be on at Vintage Brewing Company, and you'll be able to meet Nick and Trevor that night. They'll both be hanging out, and they are friends. They've made numerous collaboration beers.
I just had one of their collab beers when I was there.
Right. So they'll probably I'm pretty sure they're gonna have that there too. So
the Nectarine Saison.
Yeah, at the Great Taste. No, I'm sorry, not at the Eve, y'all. At the Great Taste itself, I believe. I believe Deadbird will have it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I think that's right.
You couldn't meet two nicer cordial guys, and they'll tell you everything that you need to know about the beer. They're just great, Nick and Trevor, and they're also friends. So that'll be fun for them. I will be in and out. I will be there. I will be at Delta. I'll be at Giant Jones. Joel will be at the Great Taste. You'll see Joel at the Great Taste. He will not be able to be making the Eve parties, but I will be there, and the crew will be there, and it'll just be fun. So Great Taste Eve, y'all. You can have the first bite of these beers if you're not going to make the Great Taste, or you can just do both. And right across the street from Vintage, y'all, is the new Glarus takeover at the soccer stadium. Ooh. Right? So you can, so we're like right there. So go to get the new Glarus. We know, we get it. I got it. If they're number one, we understand. They're number one with us, and we love our beers, right? So go there, jump over to us. That's cool. So Joe, we're gonna jump back over to anniversaries, buddy. It's August. It seems to be an ideal time for a brewery to open, and with that, you see a lot of interesting names here, or at least I do.
Yeah, I mean, what you're seeing here, you have the one OG, you have Sprecher here in Glendale back in the 80s, originally founded in Milwaukee and then moved here to Glendale. And then you can kind of really see there during that time period pre-COVID where you have that decade, 2013, or not even decade, like 6 years, 2013 to 2019. August was obviously a very popular month. Many of the years saw multiple openings. Oliphant, Gathering, our good friends at Gathering Place, just already mentioned 608, and Deadbird opened in 2019 of August. And be on the lookout for all of these. Obviously, they check their social media. Mm-hmm. Many of them will probably be doing an event at some point to celebrate the anniversary. So be on the lookout for all of those. But yeah, are there any that jump off to you that you want to shout out, Greg?
Yeah, Ambivalent shouldn't be on there.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, and I looked at that too earlier.
Yeah, that was on that. That would have been on the, it got wiped off on the one part and then not on the anniversary page.
Amen. Yeah. I recently visited Pitchfork. I love Pitchfork. Pitchfork is fun. Shout out to Viking, which we know is for sale.
Yes.
And there's apparently some things going there that I can't say, but I don't know. Milwaukee Brewing Company being brought back 2 years ago. I don't know if we see much movement with them. Or maybe we shouldn't, and maybe that's fine. And I don't know. This is a really, fun list that touches, literally every part of our, up there with Raven's Breath and Clipper. It's just, and then Pitchfork over in Wisconsin, mm-hmm. as they call it.
And Oliphant isn't that far from Pitchfork either. They're way up there also.
Oliphant is Wisconsin too. Yeah. I got a new Wisconsin. So and then So with that being said, Joel, these are some ones you want to keep an eye on. I do got to poke fun at you about Foxtown, because why are they on here again?
Because I wanted to remind myself to make sure that I go by and get pictures for our next brewery report. Because I need to get some updated pictures, because there continues to be more building done over there. And then the other ones here were obviously, Ope is rapidly approaching a finish line, I believe. Nicolay, you can follow them on their social media. They're getting some work done and popping around places. Layman, if you like following along on kind of a build out, Layman has been religiously posting videos of their updates as they expand their tap room into a much larger space. They've been redoing the flooring and the ceiling, connecting it, out to their patio right now. So go to their Facebook page. They've got lots of videos if you wanted to follow along there. And then I also talked with John from Acronym. There has not been anything. There's nothing official yet. I just know that we are he said he's hopefully getting close to being able to, make some moves forward. So I wanted to throw a shout out to him as well. But yeah, continue to see movement. On our Facebook page, we'll be posting updated maps, as things come across the finish line and things get promoted. So yeah.
One to sneak in here, y'all, is, and I hope, we hope it's after Ope, is Deuce City.
Oh yes.
I feel from Dew City, they're gonna pull what they say in hip hop a Drake on us or a Kendrick, meaning they're just gonna open.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give out many reports.
No.
We've literally personally asked them for reports. They just haven't given them for whatever reason. That's fine. That's their, that's their presentation. No shade. But I think that they're just gonna be like, yo, we're soft opening or something like that. So, and I really think it's good. I really think it's gonna drop here soon. I'm really optimistic because again, Joel, that's another labor of love. We've been trying to get this going for what now? 3-4 years out of Dew City.
And that's Prairie du Chien, by the way, for people that may not recall. That's Prairie du Chien, way out along the Mississippi on the western side, south of La Crosse. So that's that's a desert. That's a brewery desert. That's really a place that doesn't have. I think, what did we calculate? Like the closest brewery to that area is like Potosi, which is like almost like 50 minutes away or something.
Potosi or Commerce or Seven Hills.
So
those ones.
Yeah.
And those are like 45 minutes or something at least.
So this is going to really fill in a void there on our map.
Yeah. And Paul's just someone, we've got to know him a little bit, and we're just fully rooting for that project totally. Not that we don't root for everyone, but that one's one we really want to pull in here just for that area, as you said. So we're looking forward to this one. Joel, you want to speak on this?
Yeah. So, Derriere came in, and we currently are sitting here at 274 for the total number, 207 breweries, 39 offsite tap rooms, 28 that are falling under the other/contract category. So holding pretty steady here. If you subscribe here for the newsletter, which we'll talk about Patreon very soon here, Greg, we have a fun announcement for that. I can tease one of the things I'll be writing up in the newsletter this week, dropping on Thursday, is talking about the mid-year report from the Brewers Association. And besides talking about some of those numbers, I will look at kind of looking into how things have shaped up around Wisconsin here past the halfway point. So lots to look forward for that. But a little on-air direction here. If these numbers change drastically next month, don't be worried, Joel. I want you have to look at our in-house map, our in-house my map, because our numbers I'm missing. We're like 6 or 7 off. So there's either something that we got to look at that. So I don't know. It may change that. But Joel, really quick here. So I'm counting 200 and it says 246 on-site breweries, right? Like places we could go visit. There's 28 are contract, right? Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 246.
So out of those 246 breweries, Joel, we've been to, by my calculation, now again, we got to do this map. We've been to 202, Joel. You and I together.
Does that count ones that have closed?
No. Or those are just out. Like I'm a current.
Okay.
So the current one. We still have like 42 to go or something like that. Which is, includes Titletown and actually the one really closest to you, but I'm gonna try to do that this weekend is and I know why you don't go there, but or not you haven't yet, but I get it, is it's basically Explorium. We haven't been we haven't been to the new Explorium, but it's basically the old Good City. So it's like the same shell. I'm sure, obviously the beers are different, and no disrespect to Good City, but Explorium's food, from what I know, is much better than Good City was. Like Explorium gives me that pub feel, almost gastropub kind of thing going on there, if that makes sense. Whereas Good City was not that level. But anyway, Joel, so one of these things that we've been tracking, y'all, is our stops. I've made 85 stops in Wisconsin this year. I should get to 100, but Joel, one of these things I really wanted to do, I told y'all last year when we did the report, was that like I wanted to get out on the ground more and see more of Wisconsin, see more of the breweries, and talk to more owners and brewers. And mission accomplished, man. Really, this year has been really great for that. Here's your stop, Stroll. Obviously more confined. But obviously this isn't your your outside of Wisconsin stops. And also, I have older adult kids, y'all, who are out, out on their own, and Joel has young kids. So Joel's restricted by that fact at this point. It's not like Joel can't get around to a brewery, y'all. So we're not going to be doing that. So that, with that being said, these are all of our stops this year. Joe and I take pride in the places that we can go because Joe, obviously clearly you can't really know about Wisconsin breweries unless you visit Wisconsin breweries.
100%.
Any thoughts on any of those maps before we move along?
No, I mean, there will always be gaps to fill in. There will always be more places to follow or recheck in with. But for two guys that are doing this for the love of the game right now, it is pretty amazing how many places we're able to go and connect with people there. And I'm looking forward to filling in more of the map with you here the rest of this year.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to eventually getting to most of them, Joel, if not all. I don't know about all. I'll say most, and we can leave that there. But the thing that I know, Joel's been excited about a lot of these things that's happening. But I know Joel's excited about to talk about Patreon.
Yeah. So I teased this when we announced our show. We are doing a special for our anniversary. That this will also be at our event on Friday, but we will be posting this tomorrow. But people that are watching now get first opportunity. We are giving 1 free month of Patreon, kind of our the full pint level. The second level where you will get the newsletter, access to the Patreon articles, Discord, all that kind of good stuff. All you need to do is scan that QR code and it will take you there where you can then accept the free gift for 1 month. This is your opportunity to kind of try it out. You will get the weekly newsletter sent to your inbox every Thursday afternoon with articles that I write covering news, events, beer releases, all sorts of good stuff. But yeah, we will be sharing this all across social media here all week. We want to thank people for being part of the Badger Beer Report journey and following along. And we hope that people will take the opportunity to come on to Patreon. And even if you don't stick around after the free month, we hope that you enjoy the opportunity to kind of see more behind the scenes. Because as we've talked about, Greg and I write more articles and do more things on the Patreon than what we show across social media. So I actually am currently saving. We have a video flight school that I'm currently getting ready to post that I will plan to post later this week after as the free month people kind of hopefully come on. And yeah, I'm excited to hopefully have some more people come to join us, Greg.
Yeah, and here's something that Joel doesn't know about. I don't think any of our crew know about. We will be on WhatsApp. Actually, we are on WhatsApp now. We will be there soon. We will announce publicly, and then once we do that, y'all, we'll have a WhatsApp channel, which y'all can. We will probably push out breaking news and our events, and when we go live, it won't be like a constant kind of timeline thing. But the good thing about WhatsApp, y'all, is that it's not algorithm or timeline thing. So you will get those notifications immediately on your phone if you enable them. So you don't have to go on Facebook or miss something or miss an event or anything. We can do all that through WhatsApp. And then, Joe, we're going to have a Patreon only WhatsApp community where we'll be able to talk back and forth and have conversations on that too. So that'll be another perk of Patreon coming y'all way. And another perk here, Joel, is that we've been talking for an hour and we're going to stop talking. Or that, maybe that's a perk for our audience, right? They've heard enough.
Yeah.
But Joel, where are you at? Actually, where are you at, Joel? I've never been there.
This is Lion's Tail in Neenah. I wanted to be at a place up there that was affected by the storm, so this is their bar area. As you guys know, I like to shuffle in all the different tap rooms each show. Also, shout out Runaway Lake Louie for the merch. Yeah, I got the merch on right now, shouting them out.
I got Nosy and
Dead Bird. So yeah, make sure that you can scan one more time here. If you need to take a screenshot, you can scan the QR code. Otherwise, tomorrow morning, we will be posting the same graphic on Facebook and Instagram. So that way it will be easier for people to use. And again, do you have anything else you need to add, Greg?
About Patreon?
Or just period, just anything before we hop on.
But Patreon is really the best way that y'all can support us. Another way is to go to YouTube and click follow. Yeah, we know that y'all don't follow us on YouTube because we know how many of y'all watch us and we know how many subscriptions we don't have there. We're doing great on Facebook. Y'all are probably on Facebook, but none of y'all are on YouTube. So go all over to YouTube, please, and subscribe there. That's really one of the best things you can do for us now. Joel's been doing some fun things on TikTok. Some more things coming on TikTok. So that's that. TikTok is fun. I just gotta get used to that, Joel. Maybe I'm too old. I'm sorry. So that further ado, we have 3 public events, y'all, coming up. You want to support us? Come out to Inventors on Friday. It will be awesome to see all of you. If not, you can see me at the Great Taste Eve. Actually, that's a public event for us, and then of course at the Great Taste, all of the Badger Beer Report people will be there. Literally all. Actually, maybe not Landon, but outside of him, everybody's going to be there walking, and then we will have a beer at Lagerfest this year at the McFleshman's Lagerfest, y'all. We will have one. We are working on others. More details on that when that becomes available, but we will be there too. So 3 public events. We generally don't have that many public events, Joel, so we want to make sure that y'all know when we're out in the public. Those are it, and we will talk to y'all on Friday if we see you, or at the Great Taste. We got a lot of wonderful beer events coming up. Support your local breweries and brewers as we've been. And Joel, you know how to do it, buddy.
Yep. As always, whether it is where you are visiting or where you are living, be sure to drink local everywhere. Cheers, everybody.